multiplayer games can be toxic.
The f*** you say to me, you little
I'm taking a cigarette break. I hate this game.
Oh my god. I can't play with you. I cannot play with that brain.
Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose.
You're so bad. You're so bad. This guy doesn't deserve this.
I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. Now, no. Oh my god.
No matter what you're playing, it always seems like there's that one teammate who thinks their Gold 2 promo match is the VCT final.
This has been the year of a lifetime, and I'm just so thankful for everyone, the fans, my friends, family.
Whether it's a support refusing to heal because the tank wasn't able to save them in Overwatch, or an ADC running it down and intentionally feeding in League of Legends, ranked modes seem to bring out the worst in people, and that's without getting into voice and text chat. So why is the ranked experience so frustrating? Why are people so mean?
Woo! Yes! Good job, you reject!
And the real question, is there a way to fix it? Today, that's what we're going to explore.
Perfection isn't good enough. I wonder what they think when they see me.
Your life is as valuable as a summer ant.
Your life had no value. There is nothing for me.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
So bad. You're so bad.
You should yourself now.
Fucking trash, motherfucker. Fuck you.
It hurts so good.
Okay, so what is ranked? And why does basically every game on the market have a competitive mode? For players, ranked is a way to get an idea of your current skill level. It helps you track your growth as you climb through various ranks, and makes games more exciting by putting something on the line.
Stop! Stop! Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
As an added bonus, it also lets you compare yourself to your friends and can be the source of some serious bragging rights. For game developers, ranked is a way to keep players engaged. Most ranked modes reward players with cosmetics based on their rankings at the end of the season, like the Victorious skin line in League of Legends, or Rocket League rewarding players with trails and titles based on their rank. It's also a great way for games with professional scenes to track data of what champions are popular, which ones are overpowered, and which ones need buffs.
As do I.
In a perfect world, ranked systems would accurately show players their skill level, and that's it. This is called matchmaking rating, or MMR for short. It's the system that matches players against each other based on their skill level. It's like ELO in chess, where gains and losses are proportional to the skill gap between you and your opponent. Beat a grandmaster? Your ELO is going to skyrocket. Lose to a small child who still calls the knight horsey? Your ELO is going to plummet. It's a simple system, and it's damned effective. The big difference between MMR and ELO, at least in virtually every modern game, is that MMR is hidden. What is shown instead can be a number of things. An arbitrary point system based on that hidden MMR, tiered divisions like bronze, silver, and gold, or just a giant number, the meaning of which is almost impossible to decipher. Tiers and divisions are by far the most popular ranked system, but not all tiers are created equal. In Overwatch, your rank would only change every 7 wins or 20 losses, and then they changed it to 5 wins and 15 losses, and now they're getting rid of it altogether. League of Legends used to use a promotion series to gatekeep advancing through tiers. But regardless of what costume you put on the ranked system, there's a fundamental issue. The wants and needs of the developer are very different than those of the player.
So it could end up actually impacting how much they play the game if there is no incentive for them to actually show something off. So while I agree that it would be definitely healthier in a way for them not to be chasing numbers, chasing medals, chasing whatever it is that's keeping them away from things like single player games, you have to think about how much they're actually going to stick around to play it, and that might not be something that companies really want to look at in a way.
That was Dr. Natalie Coyle, who has a PhD in mental health research and studies the psychology of video games. Essentially, tiered rank systems encourage players to grind and grind and grind to reach their desired rank, often at the expense of their own enjoyment of the game.
Playing this game online is so bad for your health. I can feel it in my neck. I can feel it in my neck. Oh my god. Right in my neck where the clavicle connects to the duodenum. Oh my god. That's where the pain is.
I know people who say, oh, I want to go off and play Final Fantasy 16, but I can't because I feel obligated to chase the higher number in a competitive game. So it kind of plays into that way that they're not maybe enjoying the game as much as someone should be.
So, right off the bat, we can see that the design of ranked systems can be highly addictive. But that doesn't fully answer the question of why it can be so toxic. If you ask any ranked player what they hated most about climbing the ladder, one of the top answers will likely be the toxic teammates they encountered along the way. You know, the teammates who would rather flame the mistakes of others than work together and actually win the game.
I guess I don't get to play the game. Yeah, don't worry. It's okay. I don't care. Oh, no problem.
A study done by Paul J.C. Adachi and Tina Willoughby at Brock University linked aggressive behavior with competitive video game. Quote, consistent with the general aggression model, we demonstrated that physiological arousal may be a mechanism through which video game competitiveness influences aggressive behavior. Basically, it boils down to two things: a player's intrinsic motivations versus their extrinsic motivations. In other words, whether their desire to win comes from within or from factors without. A player who is intrinsically motivated will be focused on self-improvement, learning from their mistakes and working towards being better than they were yesterday. Generally, intrinsically motivated players have a healthier relationship with competition. Players who are extrinsically motivated are the ones who get toxic. Their motivations hinge on getting a higher rank, caring about how they're perceived by their peers, and winning, regardless of if they played well or not. The result is the only thing that matters. So, every time they lose or drop in rank, they feel negative emotions, regardless of how well they or their team actually played. For those who don't have any competitive outlet other than video games, it can be hard to keep those emotions bottled up.
Unfortunately, and that is kind of where you get the full extent of people's emotions, because that could be the thing that they attach value to. I don't feel that I'm very good at X, Y, and Z, but I feel like I'm good at this game. And if this is the only thing that I think that I'm good at, and that thought is being jeopardized, then I'm going to become quite emotional.
For these players, chasing that emotional high of winning games and being promoted is one of diminishing returns, and can quickly become an addiction. Often, these players become hyper-competitive, experience high stress and burnout, and even damage their social lives outside of the game. In a report for the National Center of Mental Health in Schools and Student Learning Supports, Daniel Fu, a student at UCLA, describes a change in his brother's behavior. Quote, during his grind to diamond, he put off doing homework, he skipped classes due to late nights of gaming, and he appeared emotionally unstable when he lost too many games and got demoted a few ranks. Additionally, the more games he lost, the worse he played. This, however, only made him want to play more or either break even or not get demoted. He was in a vicious cycle where he put more and more time into the game while only getting worse, and this made him feel terrible about himself. This experience is common among many gamers. I think most of us have a friend or have personally been in this vicious cycle. It's well documented, it's evident across the board, and it's a product of intentional design. Much like a gambling addiction, players look for that next hit of dopamine, that next win to affirm their self-worth. And the more they feel stuck, the greater the desire to break free, and the more the game consumes them. For game devs, this is great. League of Legends has around 3.5 million active players every day. If I was Riot, and these players were coming back day in and day out, I wouldn't care if they're playing because they're having fun and they love the game, or if it's because I've created this artificial feedback loop which lowers their self-esteem to the point where winning a game is the only way they can feel good about themselves. As a company, if all they think about is my game, that's a big win. Unfortunately, there's no one answer of how to improve the ranked experience. Every player has different motivations for playing, and at the end of the day, it's up to each individual player to figure out if their relationship is healthy or not. Are you tilt queuing at 2 a.m. on a school night? Yeah. Are you having fun doing it? Maybe. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is good to introspect and think about why you're playing.
Think about this. Many of you using ranks out there now are under 18. Do you realize that at 18, you have lived only 1/4 of your life? When you're using ranked, you're only cheating yourself out of the chance to find out who you really can be. And believe me, if you don't use ranked, you can just about be anything you want to be.
So what are some things we can do? For starters, it's important to understand that competitive drive and intensity are all hardwired into us as humans, and we can harness it in different ways. It's easy to focus on what your teammates are doing, get mad at them, get frustrated because they're not doing what you would do, but no matter how much you type, or grief, or intentionally feed, the actions of your teammates are out of your control. So, instead of focusing on them, try focusing on yourself. Your actions are the only thing that are in your control, and even if a game looks unwinnable, you can still perform your job to the best of your abilities and find success regardless of if you win or lose. It's important to treat yourself well. Finding a healthy balance between intrinsic and extrinsic motivations is the key. Step back and ask yourself, why am I playing? Identify holes in your game that you can improve on, be conscious of how you interact with other players, and remember that your rank is not a reflection of your worth.
They are the people who strike the perfect balance between enjoying the game, enjoying playing it, enjoying practicing it, enjoying finding out more about it, and just enjoying the satisfaction of seeing the number go up. And if the number goes down, no problemo, we'll get that number back.
If all else fails, just remember, it's okay to end on a loss. You can step away from the screen and come back later. After all, you're playing a video game, and video games are meant to be enjoyed.
I would just really encourage people to think about whether or not they're having fun right now. That is my number one thing. If you feel obligated to grind ranked, if there are games you want to play, but you don't because you feel obligated to grind ranked, please play those games. Please take a break, because you will definitely find yourself burning out.
So don't blow it. Don't do ranked. If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help. Akshon Esports. I want you to give yourself a chance to find out all the wonderful things you really can be. And so do I.
This video is made possible thanks to our wonderful patrons. Massive thank you to everyone on this list, and shout out to B, Pass, Retro, Shampoo, and Yashichi for being Platinum supporters. And an extra special shout out to Cloud and Steph for being our Diamond supporters. Happy holidays, y'all. If you want to talk to us, check out our Discord. If you want to support our channel and get info on unreleased videos, check out our Patreon. If you want to help us out in a different way, leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell to stay up to date is also appreciated. My name is Jonah. Thanks for watching.